in there, they never asked him if he reported this to the police first, or to hotel management first?
Now, it's a very simple and rehearsed answer. Like what he says and what the general manager Amy Price says and what the civil engineer Pedro Tovar says are all very, very similar. Some of the exact wording, in fact, so that it really seems like they kind of had a set thing that they were going to say, and they address very few logistical details of, when the body was found, when they called the police, things like that. We just don't know anything about it.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, let's take a little commercial break. We're with Jake Anderson. We're talking about this book. It's an incredibly fascinating story. Gone at Midnight, The Mysterious Death of Elisa Lam. Now, you can get a hold of Jake. He's got a website called theghostdiaries.com. He's also on Twitter and Facebook. We'll be right back with more of Jake Anderson right after these messages.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Have you ever thought about opening your own mobile cart or kiosk business? Maybe the facility you manage could establish new revenue by adding coffee, food, or retail services. Cart King International can be the answer to your needs. Cart King is a North American designer and manufacturer of the finest mobile coffee, food, and retail carts and kiosks. Cart King has been working with clients and corporations across North America for 20 years, providing innovative designs, custom manufacturing, and timely delivery. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on our website. Please visit us today at www.cart-king.com or just call us at 1-877-986-7771 and get your sales rolling.
PureSoapFlakes.com, 218-568-2525. Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with Pure Soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Keep it clean, folks. Pure Soap Flake Company products are kind to living creatures and sensitive skin, safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. They have a little promotion going on. Contact them to order some soap. Mention the Opperman Report. You're going to get a free gift. They're going to send a little extra soap, travel size, soap bars and laundry soap, cleaning soap flakes. I've been using that stuff all day long today. Great stuff. Order today at puresoapflakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525, 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flake Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild.
Tina Helmuth is writing an ongoing series of fact-fiction books that boldly takes on today's most heinous crimes. Suffer the Little Children, The Wrath of the Father, and Unbreakable. Deeply researched and mixed with the supernatural, good versus evil makes these thrillers hard to put down. Available at Lulu.com in paperback or ebook.
If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers, I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents, they handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at KMDlaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to KMDlaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law.
It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, private investigator Ed Opperman. Don't forget, Thursday evenings, got a new start up there, getvocal.com, VOKL.com, getvocal. 7 p.m. live video podcast every Thursday night. Our guest today is Jake Anderson, Gone at Midnight, The Mysterious Death of Elisa Lam. And you can find him at his website, theghostdiaries.com. Now, Jake, we know about this bizarre video in the elevator. Did you come to any conclusion what she was doing in the elevator?
Yeah, well, I mean, no and yes, but it is fascinating, and I interviewed a couple of body language experts to try and get a kind of a feel for what may have been going on. I mean, I think we can probably conclude based on the fact that her toxicology report showed that she had gone off of two of her meds, the bipolar med and then the mood stabilizer med. I think we can conclude from that it's, and also based on other reports, that it's pretty likely she was probably experiencing some kind of hypomania or a mixed episode. A mixed episode is where you're kind of experiencing the low and the high of bipolar at the same time. So that would explain some of the hand movements. That's called psychomotor agitation. So there is a physiological analysis of this. If you look up just body language, Elisa Lam, you can get a pretty good explanation of it by Dr. Jack Brown. And then I spoke with another body language analyst and she kind of concluded pretty similar things. Basically, they can't say for sure why she was acting like someone was following her. Some people, I think if you track any regular person when they think they're alone and they're maybe thinking about something or stressed out about something, we can all do weird things. We can all any of us could look totally, out to lunch or it's easy to conclude things about people based on how they fidget, and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, there are moments in the surveillance where it definitely, she obviously looks like she looks out and sees something and then hides in the corner. And at some point it almost seems like she's talking to someone. The body language analysts basically think that she was thinking about someone in a prurient way. There's kind of they believe this is what they believe, a kind of a flirtatious playfulness to what she's doing, in that they think that she was at the very least thinking about someone. The big question is whether that someone is someone who maybe isn't around, or someone who maybe is in the hotel, or maybe it's someone who's at the end of the hallway. We just don't know. But the surveillance tape is definitely very mysterious. There's also some weird glitches in the surveillance tape. At one point, the time code cuts, and basically the minute hand changes twice in 7 seconds, right as she leaves the frame, which would be the perfect time to cut it if you wanted to erase someone from it. Because when nothing's happening, you can cut between two moments of nothing and it looks the same. But the time code cuts could also be the result of an automated timer on a surveillance system. So we just don't know yet, what was really going on in that surveillance tape. The explanations range anywhere from the paranormal, that she was feeling some kind of effect from the past atrocities that have taken place in that hotel. There's been dozens of suicides, murders, 2 serial killers that live there. And in fact, Richard Ramirez lived on that same floor, the 14th floor, where that surveillance was filmed. So that's one explanation. Then there's also just the idea of foul play, that someone was following her through the hotel and intimidating her in some way. Yeah.
You mentioned before the possibility of sex trafficking. A couple of questions now. How is she funding this trip? And are there other known instances of sex trafficking organizations going on at that hotel?
Well, I don't think I mentioned anything about sex trafficking,
No?
but
Okay.
yeah, no, but that is an angle that I've heard said before. It is. I mean, we can certainly talk about it because there are people who have researched the case who believe that it's possible she got involved in some kind of sex trafficking thing. The fact that she doesn't write anything about it beforehand makes me think that it would have been, something that she fell into right upon getting into LA. And that's certainly possible. I just don't know of any, I don't know of any evidence for that. But I do think that I know for a fact there have been sexual predators who lived in the Cecil Hotel. I document several in the book, several people who have gone on record. Well, not on record. One person was too scared to go on record, but she says that the employees there in the past would use the master key to basically break into rooms and sexually assault women. There's multiple accounts of people saying they felt creeped out or preyed upon by security guards there. So I think it's very possible that one of the security guards or someone was maybe trying to, give her a tour of the roof, for example, because at one point the detectives say, they said to one of the deputy coroners that I talked to that they had looked at the possibility that someone came to the roof with her, that someone let her on the roof. Now, the only person that could do that would be someone with a key, and that would be a security guard. And it would make sense. That would make sense. That would explain how she got on the roof, is that someone let her on the roof. But yeah, so I definitely think there is a sexual predation angle to this for sure. I don't know anything about specific sexual trafficking.
No, we were saying before that women with mental illness are
a
higher target of sex traffickers, which is why I figured that would.
Oh, sure, yeah. No, that's absolutely true, and I just don't know of any like organized trafficking behind it. But yes, there's. I mean, sexual predators. I would just look at them as. The way I think of it is someone in that hotel who saw that she was acting strange. The hotel knew that they had to move her to a different room. Right. So the managers knew that something was going on with her. They would have had surveillance of her acting strange. And so if there was someone in that hotel who had access to roof and surveillance, that would be a perfect opportunity for them to prey on someone, because there was already a record of her acting strange. And it would be for a sexual predator, it would be a very ideal situation for them. So yeah, I definitely think that that's very possibly something that went on there.
Now, we know from this video she's acting strange in this elevator. But do we know, and people would assume right away, well, that's the last time she was seen on video. She must have been killed that night. But do we know really the time of death?
We don't have an exact account. We think maybe like people who have analyzed the time code think it leads right up to about midnight. But yeah, we don't have an exact time for sure. And it's certainly not the only video of her in the hotel. In their part of their civil deposition or part of their police report, the detective Greg Stern even says that there's other surveillance video of her entering the hotel with two men who give her a box and then leave. And we haven't seen that footage. We don't know what it means. Frankly, I don't understand why they would release the footage of her in the elevator and not release the footage of her with two possible suspects who probably should be interviewed. I don't know. I mean, isn't that the point of releasing a surveillance tape? It's either to identify the victim or to identify any possible suspects. Well, in this case, the tape is so blurry and pixelated, you can't identify the victim from that tape. So really, what was the point of releasing that surveillance tape if you're not going to also release the tape of her with two men? I don't get that.
Now, this box, is this a small box, like a box of food, perhaps, or is it a big box of clothing, a large item?
Yeah, they didn't say. They just say a box. And yeah, it is fascinating. And I spoke with a bouncer at a restaurant around the corner.
Okay.
Cole's. It's a famous old sandwich shop. And just on a lark, I asked the bouncer there about the case, whether he'd heard anything about it. And he told me, and I had to double check with him multiple times to make sure we were talking about the same case. But he claims that he spoke with an off-duty cop the same week they were investigating the case. And this off-duty cop says that they found some of Elisa's belongings in a dumpster in Skid Row.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
but the official police version is that this is a suicide.
No, accidental suicide. Yeah, the official explanation is that she died. It was an accidental death with bipolar disorder as a contributing factor. So basically, they think that she went up there by herself for whatever reason,